Yo, what's up everybody? Today I'm going to do a Mistweaver and Fistweaver guide for War Within Season 1. So this video is going to be segmented into two parts. The first part is going to be the Mistweaver part, which I'm going to start really soon, and then the second part is going to be the Fistweaver part. And I'll have timestamps for everything in the video. They'll be in the description. As well as like talents and stuff for each respective spec. So anyways, I'm the only caster Mistweaver monk to get rank 1 for the past 3 seasons, so this is what I think are the best talents, and yeah, anyways, just pay attention, that's it. So, we're going to get started on caster Mistweaver here, and what I'd like to get started with is the races, the best races for Mistweaver. Now, if you want to push 3s, if you're trying to push Gladiator, the single best race, and pretty much the only race, if you're not playing this race, you're trolling, for pushing 3s is Night Elf. If you're not playing Night Elf, then you're basically feeding, because WoW is basically, for the past few expansions, has been just revolving around who can just win on mana. And that's what a lot of 3s games come down to. It's the mana bar, that's what AWC comes down to. How much mana you have, whoever goes first loses. So yeah, pretty much if you're Night Elf, you can use your Night Elf racial, Shadow Meld, to drop combat instantly, and then you can drink. Otherwise, you would have to wait 6 seconds to drop combat, and 6 seconds of doing nothing, waiting for your combat to drop in an arena, is sometimes just way too much than you usually have. So you know, Shadow Meld allows you to just instantly drop combat, start drinking, start regenerating mana instantly. So yeah. Just a word of advice when you're looking for drinks in an arena. I know this isn't really related to Mistweaver, but you want to make sure that your teammates are full health. They either have defensives to trade, or all stun DRs are off, and you can tell your teammates to like CC them while you're sitting down for your meld drink. So anyways, that's for 3v3. People who are trying to push 3v3, I'd recommend Night Elf very heavily. But for the people that are trying to play solo shuffle, the races that you're going to want to play are going to start with number 1 being Gnome. And the reason why you play Gnome is that Gnome gives you 5% more mana with one of their racials. So having 5% more mana means that, you know, you have 5% more mana. Since you can't drink in solo shuffle, the 5% more mana is a lot more beneficial than the Shadow Meld, because you can't meld to drink in a solo shuffle, you know? Also, if you play Gnome, you have a Escape Artist, so you can get out of roots every minute. It's pretty good. Then the second best race that I would say would either be Undead or Orc. They pretty much have like, kind of equal. I think Undead is a little bit more valuable than Orc, because Undead has Will of the Forsaken, which allows you to Trinket of Fear, and then that will put a 30-second cooldown on your trinket. But it's basically kind of like a second trinket, which can help you out in solo shuffle. And then Orc, you know, you get stun reduction. Pretty simple. Everybody knows what Orc does. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to play 3s, you should go Night Elf. If you want to play solo shuffle, you should play Gnome. And then if you can't play Gnome, you should play Undead. And if you can't play Undead, you should play Orc. And if you can't play Orc, you should play Pandaren. But I really would not play Pandaren. Don't do what I do. Not a good idea. Alrighty, so let's just get into the talents. So there's been a lot of reworking done over the pre-patch from Dragonflight to War Within. So basically, I'm just gonna review the whole talent tree, each individual talent. So obviously, you know, you're gonna get RSK, you're gonna get Soothing Mist as a Mistweaver. These are the obvious ones. Elusive Mists, basically, you know, your target takes 6% less damage while you're channeling Soothing Mists. So you know, yeah, that's pretty much it. Tiger's Lust, this is really useful. I pretty much only ever use this on my teammates. So let's say I have like a warrior and I'm fighting a mage or something, and this guy's getting stuck in like Frost Novas. He's gonna really appreciate if I use Tiger's Lust on him, so that he can get out of this route and he can get 70% movement speed to, you know, help them connect. It's mostly for helping your teammates. Do use it on yourself though, but you know, it's really good for helping enable your teammates. All right, so we got crashing momentum, pretty simple. Roll through target, gets slowed for 40%. You really shouldn't be aiming to roll through your targets, but if you do pass through them, this is just something that you have. You know, it's better than disable, which is an extra bind, and you know, you have to press it, which wastes global, and you have to be on top of a target. So just play this. If you roll something, you roll through something, don't focus on it. It's just a talent. Detox, you know, you can get poison and diseases. That's pretty good. Pretty self-explanatory. And now Ancient Arts, this is a must. This is a talent that you must pick, and that's because, you know, if you read it, reduces cooldown of paralysis by 15 seconds and leg sweep by 10 seconds. And you might think, whoa, isn't paralysis just a 15-second cooldown now, and leg sweep is even shorter? Nope, because they nerfed paralysis. Let's say on spec these two. Never mind. I don't know why. I have to like apply changes or something. But it's 45 seconds. Or like a minute long, so you know, you think you're actually getting value, but it's basically just the same thing. This is just a way of saying fuck you. You have to spend 2 talent points, just to have this. And obviously we have Chi Torpedo. I prefer this over Roll. I would not recommend anybody to play Roll. I don't like Roll. It is what it is. You know, your choice. But Chi Torpedo, it's what I like to play. It's what I think is best. Spearhand Strike, this is just your kick. You can use this, you know, if somebody's like casting a polymorph on you and you're like really close to them, like let's say a mage blinks on top of you, tries to cast a sheep, you know, you can kick that. A Evoker tries to cast a sleepwalk, you just walk to him and kick that. You know, if you can't like incap or line or ROP him, you know, or port the cast, you know, it's just one of those few options that you can use to stay elusive as a Mistweaver. So then this one, pretty self-explanatory. Damage taken by 6%. You got to take this. You know, you don't want to be taking 6% more damage. You know what I mean? So you got to pick this. It's a good idea. Same thing with this one. This is my favorite talent on the left tree. I love this talent. It really allows you to stay mobile while you're moving. Because now they added like in middle of Dragonflight, they added where Thunder Focus T causes your enveloping mists to be instant. And this combined with this talent means that you can just like get 2 instant cast enveloping mists into an instant cast Vivify, and you can do all of that healing without pressing Soothing Mist and having the risk of being kicked. So go over here, quick footed. You know, we're just going down to get Save Them All, which is really good because if you heal somebody below 35% health, do more healing. You know, it's just. It is what it is. So then we're obviously going to spec into port. This is a big part of Mistweaver. You use this to get away, and it is one of the main reasons why Mistweavers are very hard to kill, because, you know, they have all of this mobility with 2 Chi Torpedoes, a Tiger's Lust, and then they can port. And they can also do that twice, but we'll get into that as we move farther down the tree. So obviously improved Touch of Death. This just makes it so that you can kill players with Touch of Death, and it also allows us to spec into Celestial Determination. And now this is really good for caster Mistweaver because, well, because what it says, while your Celestial is active, you can't be slowed below 90% movement speed. And if you're like, oh, well, what is my Celestial? It's right here. It's Yulon. And now, if you can see right here, Yulon, you know, it's got a buff. You 50% less mana on your enveloping mists while Yulon is active. It's a pretty strong ability. 1 minute cooldown also. And then its brother, Chi-Ji, makes you immune to movement impairing effects. Now, as a caster Mistweaver, you're going to want to make the one. You're going to want to play the one that makes your enveloping mist cost less. And now this one, that Yulon, does not make you immune to snares. So when you play Yulon, you're going to want to spec into this just for you know. It just so you can move, you know, if you're like stuck in a chains of ice, you can pop your Yulon and you can move around a little bit, move a little more freely. You know, you're still slowed by 10%, but it helps a little bit. So anyways, yep, go down from port, Ring of Peace. Now, Song of Chi-Ji, I like this talent, but I just don't think it's playable because you have to push in really hard for it. You can cast it. It's really easy to get peeled on this. What I prefer to do on Mistweaver and what I think is best is to just roll in, you know, sort of just like dash in really quick for an incap and then get out. Because if you're staying in to get like a Song of Chi-Ji, you're overextending your positioning, and it's just not good. Just play ROP. You're going to have fun with it. You can use this. It's a very versatile ability. You can drop it on your teammates to help enemies get away from them. You can drop enemies away from their teammates to stop them from like healing their enemy. You can ring a piece the healer, LOS, line of sight, to stop them from healing a teammate. You know, it's a great ability. You can knock people up against pillars on it. You know, you can really piss them off. It's a great ability. So then we're just going to pick this node right below here, which makes Ring of Peace's CD reduced by 5 seconds. And if you choose to play Song of Chi-Ji, at least you get a little faster cast time, even though you shouldn't play Song of Chi-Ji. Don't bother with that. So then Fort Brew, we're obviously going to pick both Fort Brews up. I personally like playing 2-minute Fort Brew. I don't think 1 minute 30 Fort Brew is that great. I think having a very strong Fort Brew that increases, you know, gets this additional, you know what I mean? As well as damage taken reduced is really good. So yeah. Anyways, we're obviously gonna pick in Statue, and the reason why you play Statue is for Calming Coalescence. And now every time Soothing Mist heals, you know, you get a bigger life cocoon. And basically, you're not gonna be casting a lot as a caster Mistweaver, which is like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Because a lot of your heals are going to come from instant cast, like using instant cast Enveloping Mists and Vivify. So you're really not channeling Soothing Mist for a long time, which is why the Statue comes into play. Whenever you drop the Statue down and you cast a Soothing Mist with it, you see, I stopped casting Soothing Mist, but my Calming Coalescence stacks are going up. So this just helps you, you know, get that life cocoon stacked up, so that when you do press it, it's nice and big life cocoon, instead of like being like, oh, I have to cast Soothing Mist in case I have to life cocoon. You know, you don't have to worry about it because the Statue takes care of that. So anyways, Diffuse Magic. If you play Yulon's Grace, you're pretty much trolling. People might like this because it's like one less button to press, but you know, Diffuse Magic, it's more of a solid defensive rather than just having that little passive piss shield, you know, because Mistweavers can only really be killed with like really fast burst windows, or like in stuns where they can't do anything, you know. So I think that Diffuse is great because you can like pre-diffuse a go or something. You can diffuse for magic, and you can also use it on like roots, or like CC. Let's say you're Frost Nova'd by a mage. You can just diffuse that. You know, just to get out of that, just for mobility, since you're not usually the kill target into too many matchups, because, you know, who's killing a Mistweaver besides like a sub-fire RMP, you know? You'll be fine most of the time. Also into Hunters, let's say you're fighting a warrior in the Hunter. There's no magic in there, but one of their nets, you can actually diffuse magic that, and that gives a use rather than just having a little piss passive passive shield that's on you the whole game. So anyways, we go on from Diffuse Magic, we get Strength of Spirit. This makes your Expel Harm heal a little more, and it also just helps us connect down to these nodes, which is Chi Proficiency, you know, more healing done by 4%. Nice. Also, there's going to be some Crackling Jade Lightning buffs that are coming. So Crackling Jade Lightning is going to do a lot of damage, and this will make magical damage done increase by 4%, you know. Our Crackling Jade Lightning is going to hit harder when that buff comes through. Healing Winds, Transcendence. When you port, you get 10%. You get 10% heal instantly. And then with this talent, Escape from Reality, whenever you use your port, like so, you see right there. There's my port. I go there, and it gives me 10% health for porting. And then I can also use it again. Within 10 seconds of using it, I can get another 10% heal. And I can also port back. So let's say you have a warrior, right? And he's training you, and you're fucked. You can't cast. He has a kick for you or something. You can port. You'll port over here. The warrior's gonna leap after you, and then you can port back, and you completely juked him, completely outplayed. You know. So that's something that you can do with port. You know, you can use it to kite away. And then last talent, Flow of Chi. You can just read it. Above 90% health, you get increased movement speed. Pretty good. Between 90 and 35, you take less damage, and below 35%, you do more healing. To yourself only, unfortunately. Healing received. You know, that is what it is. So yeah, anyways, so that's the whole left tree explained. That's what you're going to be playing. Those are what your abilities do for the left tree, and now it's time to move on the right side of the tree. So one of your main rotational abilities, the ability that's going to do a lot of healing on your details, Enveloping Mist. or enveloping mist. I don't know. I have an issue with pronunciation. I'm sorry if it makes you mad. You know, I do my best. Renewing Mist. This is also one of them. This is more like a free global button. You press this when you don't really have anything to do. But Enveloping Mist is really like the big daddy. You know, like without Enveloping Mist, you know, Mistweaver would be nothing. And that's because, you know, it's a hot. It's not instant healing, so it heals a little bit over time. But also, this very important buff that you get from Enveloping Mist wraps the target in mist over 7 seconds and increases healing received from your other spells by 40%. So you can see why this is a big issue if you're trying to heal somebody with like Vivify or something, or your Celestial Conduit or Restoral, and you don't have an Enveloping Mist up. You know, this is something that's always going to be up on what you're trying to heal. Otherwise, you're trolling. You're missing out on 40% healing. You know, it's pretty simple. So yeah, Thunder Focus Tea. You know, we just pretty baseline. We got to grab these. This is basically what you use to empower your spells. It's what you use to make your Enveloping Mists cast instantly, so that you can you know, just not have to cast with Soothing Mist and risk being kicked. You know, it also heals. It also has an immediate heal. As you can see right here, immediately heals for 170k and is instant cast. And then you get this buff on top of it. You know, it just slowly buffs your abilities. And if you're really struggling with mana, it makes your Vivifies free. And now if you look at the other options, we got Expel Harm, gives a shield. So, you know, if you're getting trained and you don't have anything left to cast and you're like 10%, but your Thunder Focus Tea just came out, since Expel Harm is a fast global, like watch, I'm about to press my Expel Harm, boom, already on the next global, right? When normally it would be that, you know what I mean? So, it's a little faster of a global. So let's say, you know, you're 10%, you can pop that with your Thunder Focus Tea. It's going to give you the Expel Harm heal, and then it's also going to give you this shield, 700k. It's not the best, but it's a shield, right? You know, if you're in trouble, you can use that. But the one thing that you don't, or the two things that you don't want to use Thunder Focus Tea on as a caster Mistweaver is Renewing Mist and Rising Sun Kick. Because Rising Sun Kick, it's been nerfed into the ground with the introduction of Fistweaver to where it just doesn't do damage. You're not gonna get any damage with this. It's not good to just CDR this ability, because there's gonna be no scenario ever where you're gonna need this. And Renewing Mist, you don't really need to increase this duration by 10 seconds because you know, it's already a 20-second hot. It barely does anything. You know, so over 20 seconds, yeah, you're not gonna need over 30 seconds, basically. So yeah, you're going to want to use it for Enveloping, you're going to use it for Vivify, and you're going to want to use it for Expel Harm. Vivify is free, by the way, with Thunder Focus Tea, so if you're struggling on mana, not sure if I already said that, sorry for repeating myself. Anyways, next ability, Life Cocoon. This is your big cooldown, you know, probably the one that everybody knows for Mistweaver. Everybody recognizes this one, because it's the big fucking cocoon that that the Mistweaver puts around everybody. So yeah, this is one of your major single target defensives, your only single target defensive pretty much. It just throws a massive shield on whatever your target is. So yeah, anyways, it's like a 2 million shield, and this gets buffed obviously by Calming Coalescence. So, you know, you get an increased Life Cocoon by 2%, stacking up to 50 times. You know, that Life Cocoon is going to be really, really big. I think maybe I have some stacks here. I'll just get to 50 and I'll show you how big this shield actually is. So, oh, I gotta hit a PvP dummy, right? Okay, there, 6.2 mil health is what I have. I pop it, and it is a 9.7 mil shield. So, yeah, not dying through that cooldown, safe to say. Definitely not. So anyways, we go right through here. We're gonna look at Mana Tea. Now, Mana Tea is one of your major abilities. You're just going to this regenerates mana basically. So right there, one stack every 0.2 seconds gives you 63k mana, and basically you get these stacks by spending mana. So, you know, as you're ooming, you're also able to get a little bit of your mana back. You can see right there, just casting a few spells. I got 3 stacks, 4 stacks, and if you pop them, look at my mana right here, boom, goes all the way back up there. and then you also get this little buff where your mana cost of spells are reduced by 30%, based on the amount of stacks that you have. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have 1 stack of Mana Tea. You press that stack of Mana Tea, and you get 1 second where all your spells are 30% discounted. So there are certain scenarios when you want to use that Mana Tea. You know, like let's grab a few stacks real quick. 2 stacks. And by the way, the minimum that you're going to want to pop your Mana Tea at is 2 stacks. But, you know, often people aren't spamming their Mana Tea because it's not really something that they're comfortable with. You know, their rotation kind of sucks, so they can't really spam it. You know, they're sitting up all the way to like 10 stacks, 20 stacks. But anyways, let's see, I pop it right here, right there, 30% reduced. And let's say I want to use one of my big spenders, which is Yulon. I pop that for 87k. My debuff expires. I saved like 40k mana right there. And then let's say I pop this, you know, my enveloping mist is 50% less while I have this Yulon up. You know, it's just, you see what I'm kind of getting at? I'll explain later, in more in depth, you know. So yeah, anyways, Mana Tea, every 250k mana you spend, get a stack of Mana Tea. And then also, you know, you don't stack a crit on Mistweaver, but you do have a 5% default chance of generating a duplicate stack, which basically just gives you more mana, you know, just for existing, which is cool, nice, fun. Unfortunately, stacking crit is not a viable option for Mistweaver, as you're going to be losing out on too many stats. So yeah, there goes that. But anyways, yep, 5% chance to generate an extra stack. And then we move down to Restoral and Revival. So listen up. There's an issue going on with these 2 abilities, and you guys are just going to play Restoral every single time because Revival's trash. You just play Restoral, you can use it while you're stunned, it dispels everybody, it does what Revival does, and what Restoral does. So, and unfortunately Revival doesn't do the same. So Restoral is the ability that you're going to want to use because you can use it while you're in a stun, and it also has Revival's function. So Restoral every single game, just play it. It's the best out of this choice node. And then same thing with this choice node, Energizing Brew. The best, you get 20% more mana compared to fucking piss cycles. You know, I hated the people that played this talent. I'm glad that it's just horrible. Do not even look at this talent. Play Energizing Brew because you get your Mana Tea to channel quicker, which, you know, allows you to keep up with the pace of the game, and you get more mana, you know, so why would you not pick that, you know, unless you're an idiot. So anyways, we got this talent. We're just using this talent to get to Healing Elixir, and Healing Elixirs are now reworked to a passive, and they did this a long time ago, but, you know, in case you're coming back to the game, it is now a passive. So when you drop below 40% health, these Healing Elixirs pop, and you have 2 stacks, and, you know, as you can see, generate 1 every 30 seconds, stacks up to two times, they heal for 20% of your health. Pretty self-explanatory, you know, they go you, and you're dropping low, these will heal you up a little bit, you know, help you out a little bit. So Rapid Diffusion, we're just using this to go over to get to Chi Harmony. Some people like to do this. Don't know why, as Impulse is not worth it. And Enveloping Mist allows you to apply Renewing Mist, as you can see right here. Oh, I pressed Vivify. Right there, I pop an Enveloping Mist. Oh, wait. Am I not? To an ally. Okay, great. Little oopsie by me. Apparently it applies to an ally, but whenever you Enveloping Mist an ally, it gives them a Renewing Mist. So I can't do it on myself here. I can only do it on a teammate. So let's say I do it right there, and boom, you get the Renewing Mist. Didn't know I couldn't do that on myself. Learn something new every day. So yeah, basically, this allows you to get a little Renewing Mist up on your target, which, as you can see right here, gives you a little healing buff. Healing received from Meepmonk increased by 50% for the first few seconds. Hold on, I gotta proc it again. And let's say we have this 40% buff and this 50% buff. This Vivify is going to crank. It's going to be a massive Vivify. So yeah, you're going to want to play this over Zempulse. Zempulse isn't good. because this allows you to basically just save a global. Let's say you don't have a renewing mist up on your target. You know, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get an enveloping up and a renewing mist, allowing your next Vivify to be buffed by 90% with just 1 global. So yeah, you guys can see start of the importance of enveloping mist now. So anyways, now that we went down here, we can choose to Chi Harmony. And now Chi Harmony, Renewing Mist, increases target healing received by 50% of you during the first 8 seconds of the duration, but cannot jump to a new target. And basically, Renewing Mist just bounces around, you know, and you can just read the thing. If it heals a target past maximum health, it travels to another injured ally, which basically, you know, and you wouldn't need it to bounce to a new target, you know, if you're, you know, because you're healing what you're healing. I don't know how to explain it, but you don't need it to bounce, so you don't need this. Okay. The right one, Chi Harmony, best talent here in the choice node. I'm pretty sure this is nerfed in PvP. I'm pretty sure it's a 25% healing increase, but nonetheless, still a healing increase. So now we're gonna head back up, just doing it slowly, like top to bottom. And then we have Yulon. Now, Yulon is one of your major abilities. It's your Celestial. Remember, we talked about that earlier. You know, it helps you not get slowed. And then it also has this little buff, which is, you know, why we press it. And that is that Enveloping Mist costs 50% less mana while Yulon is active. So yeah, basically, Enveloping Mist, 105,000 mana. Pop some Manatee stacks, make sure our Yulon is discounted by 30%, pop our Yulon, and then Enveloping Mist becomes 52,000 mana, saving a lot of mana now. So yeah, this helps you not go which is very important on Mistweaver, as you can go fast if you're just not paying attention and you're just like spamming out your heals, just sitting there, spam casting, you know, like I already lost like 20% of my mana, 1 cast. Whoa, that's crazy, you know, but it's like, oh, I pop all this Manatee, I'm back up, let's say I'm using my Yulon's good, and, you know, you're basically just playing a mana fight against yourself, and then you're also playing the game too, you know. So anyways, we go from this one, which increases your Life Cocoon Shield, if you guys remember that, to Overflowing Mists. And now Overflowing Mists, this does a lot of healing. You're going to want to make sure you spec 2 of these. So yeah, heals the target for 1% of their health each time they take damage. Pretty important. And then we go down over to this one, and this is the Fistweaver side of the tree, so we're not going to take any talents from here when we're trying to play Caster Mistweaver. So Mists of Life right here, Life Cocoon applies Renewing Mist and Enveloping Mist to the target. Pretty cool, you know, it's nice, gives a little bit of healing as soon as you pop your Life Cocoon, so that it can start healing them up. And then you can see right here, if we pop Cocoon right there, and we can use our Vivification to use an instant cast Vivify and get this 90% healing increase on this Vivify without casting. So basically you can Life Cocoon somebody for like a 10 million shield, which pops a 90% increased healing buff, which you can use your instant cast Vivify to have a massive Vivify. And you know, that's just like really cool. And then you also want to pick this talent so you can get to this talent, which reduces his cooldown of Life Cocoon by 45 seconds, which is just like, that's so good, you know, insane. All right, anyways, Mist Trap increases Enveloping Mist duration by 1 second and healing by 10%. You have to pick this. If you pick Jade Wind, you're a psychopath. This is horrible. This is literally one of the worst talents in the game. So yeah, Mist Trap, definitely a must play. If you're not playing this talent, if you even like right click that, you're inting, you're feeding, you're trolling, you know, you gotta play this one. Okay, Celestial Harmony, you know, that's just, we're just using this to get to here, and that reduces our cooldown on Yulon by 2 minutes, which makes us be able to press this every minute to save mana. And then we also use this to get to Resplendent Mist, which makes our mastery, which is Gust of Mist, and you can read it right here. What Gust of Mist does is every time you use one of your abilities, it can proc a Gusts of Mist, and this, you see, instantly heals the target for 72k. And with this talent right here, we can have a chance, a 30% chance, to buff this mastery proc from 72k to 150% more. And by the way, I don't think it's like 70k. I don't know. This is like bugged. It's not scaled properly. But Gust of Mist is one of your top healing. So, you know, a chance to make your top healing do 150% more healing. Really, really good. really, really good. And then we also use this to get to Tea of Serenity, and this basically gives you 2 stacks or 4 stacks of Thunder Focus Tea. So let's see right here, I pop my Thunder Focus Tea, and with Tea of Serenity, it empowers 2 additional Renewing Mist, Enveloping Mist, or Vivify at random. So right here, I pop it, and you see Renewing Mist lit up twice, and this is unlucky. This is the worst proc you can get, which basically gives you the one you don't want. Renewing Mist is the one you don't want. You want Enveloping Mist or Vivify to proc out of this. But then you can see I used both of those procs, and I still have Thunder Focus Tea. And I can still use my Thunder Focus Tea. So it's basically, it duplicates your Thunder Focus Tea, but you don't really have a choice in two out of the 4 abilities that you press. You know, you have Thunder Focus Tea for your 2 first abilities of your choice, you know, and then whatever RNG gives you, which right here, this is a good proc. You got a Vivify and an Enveloping Mist. We can use that Enveloping Mist, we can use that Vivify, and that was working at Thunder Focus Tea effect. And then we still have 2 stacks of Thunder Focus Tea more that we can use to do even more healing. So yeah, important talent. Basically gives you more stacks of Thunder Focus Tea, more instant healing, more healing. And then Mending Proliferation. Every time Enveloping Mist heals, healing bonus is a 50% chance to spread to an injured ally within 30 yards. And basically what this doesn't tell you is that when this bounces to an enemy, their healing is increased by 40%. So, you know, it can like randomly proc over to your teammate, and you can do 40% more healing to your teammate. And this is good because it can proc like on your revival. You know, you'll just like see like, oh, this person can take a lot of healing if I just toss a Vivify onto them right now. You know what I mean? This allows you, like, let's say it procs, right? It's not going to proc on the dummies, I don't think. I'm not going to get a stack of Mending Proliferation. But if it did proc and it went on to me and I take 40% more increased healing, I can just use Vivification, and I can get a full strength Vivify out of that when I have this thing to bounce. And the icon, the buff looks exactly like the talent, so if you see that debuff, you know what that means. 40% more healing. There you go. So now anyways, back over to here. Focused Thunder, that makes your Thunder Focus Tea empower the next 2 spells. You gotta take this one, very important. Peaceful Mending, he's targeted by Soothing Mist, 40% more healing. Yup, we get that, nice, okay. Tear of Mourning, you know, must take. Vivify healing increased, Enveloping Mist increase, you know. And then we got Shaylin's Gift. Now, Shaylin's Gift is good. And basically how this ability works is every like 8 seconds you're in combat for, you generate a stack of Shao Teachings, or just basically the stacks of Shaylin's Gift. I want to stand on these PvP dummies, get in combat, and hit them for a few seconds, so I can generate some stacks as I describe this ability. So basically, besides that, it would just do 135k healing for each cloud absorbed. This stacks up to 10 times, so you know, it's a bit of a heal. It's a good heal, you know, and this is also affected by your buffs for Enveloping Mist and Renewing Mist. So you're gonna want to make sure you have those buffs before you press Shaylin's Gift. Sometimes you don't need it because it does a lot of healing, so you know, I really wouldn't worry about it. Shaylin's Gift, massive heal, and then it's also buffed by Xiaohao's Lessons, and this is my favorite like thing in the whole talent tree. I love this. I love this. And basically every time you pop Shaylin's Gift is you get you get a few seconds of one of these buffs, and the more stacks of Shaylin's Gift you have, the longer you have this buff for. And you can see right here it says up to 30 seconds you can have these buffs for. And now these buffs, you can just read them, they're good. Spells and abilities deal up to 40% more healing and damage to targets based on their current health. Good. Crit is increased by 30% while above 50% health, and you're like, oh well, that one sucks, why would I want to crit? You know, crit is pretty bad in the current expansion. And then you read this, you know, you get it now, instead of a 5% chance to dupe your mana, you get a 35% chance with that lesson. So that's pretty cool, you know, you get a chance to get some mana there. And then Lesson of Fear decreases your damage taken by, this is my favorite one by the way, decreases your damage taken by 15% and increases your haste by 20%. The haste by 20%, it's so good. You pop that, you literally feel like a god for however many seconds you have it for. And then Lesson of Anger, 25% damage or healing you do is duplicated every 4 seconds. just free healing. It's good. So anyways, we have 10 stacks of Shaylun's Gift. So I'm going to go over to this. I'm going to make sure to apply both of my multipliers, and then I'm going to pop my Shaylun's Gift, and that's going to be a 1.5 million heal, and then I'm also going to get Lesson of Anger, which means that basically I'm going to pop my healing, and it's going to be duplicated every 6 seconds. Hard to show because, you know, you can't really see it, but you just saw like a couple 500Ks go through there. You know, more healing. You know, it's great. It's great. Okay. So yeah, that's all the talents on the right side. So now we're gonna go through the hero talents and then the PvP talents. So anyways, we have 2 of these, and now we got basically the one that you play if you're a Fistweaver, and the one if you're a caster Mistweaver. Now I've seen some caster Mistweavers play this one, and I think they're just it's wrong. This one's the best one, in my opinion. By far, not even close. You want to pick the left one. And you get this ability, which is like Emerald Communion, you know, and this ability, it does a lot of healing. You want to make sure that you're close to your target when you press this, so you know you're like stacking on top of your target. Otherwise, it's not going to do too much healing. You see, within 20 yards, gotta get close for that. And you can get CC'd on it, so you're gonna want to make sure that the enemies cannot CC you while you're doing this, right? So you're gonna want to use this when you're like on stun DR, or off on stun DR, yeah. Or when enemies can't get to you, stuff like that. You're chilling at a pillar, your DPS is kiting back to you. You can just pop that on him, and it'll do a lot of healing. This ability tops people very, very quickly. Like each tick, there's a lot of ticks, and each tick does like 50-40% of somebody's health. So great. This one you have to pick. Gives you a chance to like proc some damage with Vivify, get a little bit of passive damage. This one, you don't have Refreshing Jade Wind because you play Mist Wrap. We talked about that. If you play Jade Wind, you're trolling. And basically this one gives you Refreshing Jade Wind while you press GG every minute. So you get a little piss Refreshing Jade Wind, which does like 8k healing. It's pretty bad. And you just take this one because the left tree is better than the right tree. So, and then we got a really good one. Love this one. Healing of Enveloping Mist and Vivify increased by 6%. I mean, it's just what it says, Yeah, you just get more healing, 6% more healing here. I love that. And then here's the reason why we play Shaylun's Gift. Consuming 10 stacks of Shaylun's Gift calls upon Yu'lon to decrease the cooldown time of Renewing Mist, Rising Sun Kick, Life Cocoon, and Thunder Focus Tea by 75% for 8 seconds. So basically, every time you press this, you get cooldown reduction on your Life Cocoon and your Thunder Focus Tea. We don't really care about Renewing Mist or RSK cooldown reduction. But yeah, you can get your Life Cocoon back faster by popping Shaylun's Gift, and Shaylun's Gift will also give you those good buffs that we talked about. And then your Thunder Focus Tea, it's going to be reduced on cooldown, so you're going to get it back faster. You're going to get those 4 Thunder Focus Tea, which is going to be buffed by your Tea of Serenity. It's just a lot of healing. It's great. Perfect. So, Strength of the Black Ox, this basically makes your Enveloping Mist cast time reduced by 50%. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but you do get a shield for 3% of your max health when you do use this proc. When you see this proc, your Enveloping Mist will light up, kind of how it does when Tea of Serenity procs an Enveloping Mist. And basically, you're just going to want to normally go Soothing Mist, Enveloping Mist. There's no point in hard casting an Enveloping Mist, really. And yeah, it's going to give you guys a little bit of a shield. So now, right here, we got 2 things. And this one's the best node. Basically, when you press Fort Brew, on top of all of these buffs that we have 30% max health, 30% reduced damage taken, 40% max health, 40% reduced damage taken now. So that's buffed all the way to 40% right now. And then you get a shield for 25% of your health on top of that. Fort Brew is going to make you unkillable when you pop it. So it is really a big defensive for you. And then Flight of the Red Crane, blah, 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 whatever. You basically have a chance to get a stack of Mana Tea. So, cool, nice. Every time you pop your Yu'lon, your Refreshing Jade Wind from your Yu'lon, gives you a chance to get a stack of Mana Tea. So, cool. Chi-Chi's Swiftness, movement speed is increased by 75% during Celestial Conduit, and 15% after being assisted by the Celestial. And this is good because, you can move around with it. Let's say you're like playing a BG. Let's say you're playing, one of the flag cap BGs, Warsong Gulch, right? And you need to cap this flag, and you have the flag, so you can't mount up. What you can do is you can pop your Yulon so you can't be slowed, and then you can Celestial Conduit, and you're a race car. You can just zoom around, you can go cap that flag sooner. But in Arena, you can also just get closer to your teammates faster. You can, you know, it's just good. Movement speed is great. So, yeah. And then, yeah, movement speed with Celestial Conduit. And then we got 2 of these right here. Basically, left one's better. You know, you see, you get mastery, you get all that. You switch alignments. It's kind of complicated, but I think every time you use Celestial Conduit, it switches, so you get like 2% mastery, 2% burst, 2% crit, 2% haste. You know, it's free stats, it's good. It's better than this, which is Jade Fire Stomp, which you would have to spec into Fistweaver for. So this one's just a no-brainer, gives you 2% of a stat, and it just shuffles around. So Unity within Celestial Conduit, every time you use it, you can cast it again to give you a little shield. And that shield is basically one of these shields casted at 200% effectiveness. So yeah, you can give a little shield to whoever you choose while you're casting your Celestial Conduit. And I'll show that off in 15 seconds when I have it back. But until then, we're going to look at PvP talents. Now for a caster Mistweaver, you're pretty much locked down to 3 talents, and that's Zen Focus Tea, Peace Weaver, and Zen Spheres. Now, these 2 are a must pick. You must play Zen Spheres, as since you don't do a lot of damage as a caster Mistweaver, this offensive sphere, which you can pop, target deals 10% less damage to you and takes 10% increased damage from all sources. You can use this, and your teammates will hit them 10% harder. Let's say you're playing with 2 melee. You can RSK, and you have a little thing called Mystic's Touch, and now this thing is basically making your melee in the group hit 15% harder, which is basically Dark Arc for a Disc Priest. So yeah, these orbs, very important. You're going to want to make sure that you have a Sphere of Despair on the kill target, and a Sphere of Hope, which increases your healing on the target that they're trying to kill. So, you know, we talked about all these buffs that we have. Let's say we have a 15% increase right here. We pop our enveloping, that's a 40%, and then there's a 50% here. So, you know, all these little things, they add up, they make us do more healing, and, you know, we're just enveloping mist, you know, really important. Sphere of Hope, really important. Makes you do 55% more healing. And then same thing with Renewing Mist, also increases healing. So, yeah. Zen Spheres, very important. Pretty simple to understand. They are cheap to cost, so don't worry about spamming these. Whenever you have a free global, your team's at full health. You know, you got nothing to do. You got no mana T stacks to pop. You know, feel free to refresh these spheres because they last for 30 seconds. You know, if you pop the sphere and 10 seconds later you want to press another sphere, you can refresh that sphere from 20 seconds to 30 seconds. That's a good play. There's no worries about that. Now, Zen Focus Tea. This is just a 30-second aura mastery that allows you, you know, let's say you have to cast it and you have like a mage kick and a warlock kick to fake. You need the cast right now. You have no Thunder Focus Tea. You just pop this, aura mastery, you cast, they can't kick you, and you can do big heals. So yeah, a lot of people like to play Eminence, which allows them to port while they're stunned. Personally, I'm against this. I think you should be fine. I don't think you should be dying in stuns. If you're struggling dying in stuns to something that's not a rogue, you're probably pushing in a lot more than you need to, and not utilizing, you know, your drops and your stuff good enough, basically. The only thing that I would play Eminence into is a sub-rogue, or potentially Rep Ward, as they can melt you pretty fast in stuns. So yeah, anyways, PvP talent's done. Now I'm going to show off the last hero talent, the Unity Within thing. So basically, let's get all our healing multipliers up, and let's pop a Celestial Conduit right here. And then we can use it a second time, and it pops that little shield. As you can see, it was like a 260k absorb. Decent shield, you know. It gives you a little bit of extra healing. And so that is going to be all of the talents for Caster Mistweaver reviewed. So now, what we want to do is we want to look at gear. And I had some questions in my Twitch chat today. It's like, hey, what enchants are you going to buy for a healer? And I promised them, hey, I'm going to come out with a guide tonight. I'm going to talk about enchants and stuff like that. So anyways, first enchant that you're going to want to play, this one's Stonebound Artistry. And basically this is a chance to give you a mastery proc every time you do healing. So yeah, pretty simple. Unfortunately, there isn't one that procs primary stat that doesn't make you have to do damage to proc it, so you're going to have to pick one that procs a stat, and I think the mastery stat proc for the weapon enchant is the best one here. So anyways, moving to the ring enchants. I think I messed up with the ring enchants, I'm not going to lie. It should probably be double mastery here. So yeah, don't like split this, you know. A little more haste is always good. I'm probably gonna get up to like, oh, never mind, my haste is 9% now. So yeah, anyways, yeah, one mastery, one haste, two mastery, doesn't really matter. Whatever you want more of. If you want more haste, you can play more haste. This isn't really a big deal. It's just to get the stat increase. So yeah, I'm going for one mastery, one haste, and then boots, Scout's March, increases your movement speed. Pretty simple. And then you have a leg armor. And now how you find this leg armor, since you know I didn't get the name for this one. You're just gonna want to go to chest enchant, or oops, leg enchant. You're just gonna go right here, sunset, or not sunset, spell thread, daybreak spell thread. You're gonna make sure you buy this one, because this is one that increases the wearer's maximum mana by 5%, and this is so important. Like if you don't have these as a healer, like the chest enchant and the leg enchant, you're losing 10% mana, so you're basically just trolling. So you need these. Gives you 5% more mana. There's no belt clasp, there's no glove enchants, so then we're going to move on to the wrist. You're going to buy a speed enchant for your wrists, and then for the chest plate, the most important one, you're going to get Council's Intellect, and this is going to increase your mana pool by 5%. Also give you a little bit of intellect, same with this one, but you're really just there for the 5% mana pool increase, which is huge. So then back enchant, you're going to get speed on your back, and there is no tiered medallion setting like there was in Dragonflight. Instead, what you got to do is you got to gather Vicious Jeweler's settings. And now how you get these is you're going to buy Vicious Bloodstones, 2,500 honor each. You can buy some on the auction house too if you don't want to grind the honor. And then they cost 9,750 honor each. And if you're wondering, hey, it says you can't buy that, you can only buy it during an active PvP season. There's a chest that spawns like every 6 hours, and it contains a Vicious Jeweler's setting, 100%. Every single time, and you can do this once every week. This is not going to be part of the video. You can research this chest by yourself if you want to, get a socket like a day before the season starts. You know, I mean, I'm going to be uploading this video tonight. Tomorrow is going to be the last day of like pre-patch or preseason or whatever. So you know, get that before Tuesday to get like a little extra socket to not have to grind as much honor for your sockets. But yeah, anyways, this is what you do to put sockets on your gear. There's no more tiered medallion settings. You can't have 3 sockets on a necklace. You're going to have to buy these to apply sockets. And one thing that you're going to want to do is after you get these, you're going to recog. I forget what this gem's called. It's like Bloody Gem. I hope I can find it. That way I'm just not wasting too much time on the guide. Cognitive Bloodstone, right here. This is your precog gem. So now there's no embellishments on gear anymore, and it has gone straight to these gems. And this is what you're going to do for your precog. You're going to get one of these. You're going to put it on a piece of gear, and you're going to put in the Cognitive Bloodstone to allow you to get precog as a Mistweaver in War Within. So yeah, that's how you get precog, that's how you get some gear. And now I'm gonna go over the stat prio real quick. So as a caster Mistweaver, what you're gonna want is you're going to want verse, and then you're gonna want verse, and then you want mastery, and then you want haste, and then you want crit. So yeah, there you go. Pretty simple. Verse, just so you don't die. Verse is also healing increase. Mastery, just to increase your gust of mist. Hastes makes your cast a little faster, and stuff like that. However, you do need a little bit of haste, so I'd say if you buy full honor gear, just follow that stat prio of always getting verse and then mastery, and then if you can't get verse mastery, you get verse haste, and if you can't get verse mastery or verse haste, which is impossible, you get or actually it's not impossible, because I have this for extra mastery, and then a crit offhand because you can't get a crit offhand. So that's actually an example. If you can't get verse mastery or verse haste, you get verse crit. So yeah, stat prio, you want versatility, you want mastery, you want haste, you want crit. Just to repeat that. So yeah. And now that's pretty much going to be it for the Mistweaver side of the guide. Now what we're gonna do is, well, see, this is my, this is me just freaking out and spam torpedoing, so you gotta give me 14 seconds before I can change my talents to Fistweaver. And in those 14 seconds, I'm gonna talk about the best races for Fistweaver. Now we're gonna be starting to section into the Fistweaver portion of the guide, so there will be a timestamp. If you click this timestamp, cool, you're now at the Fistweaver part of the guide. And right here, we're going to switch our talents. So the races that you're going to want to play as a Fistweaver are going to be pretty much similar. So one of the things that's going to be important as a Fistweaver is avoiding CC. Since you're going to be in there as a melee all the time, you're just bound to get CC'd because you're in the fray. You're in the middle of the map. You're likely just chasing whatever your melees are chasing. You're very susceptible to CC. So one of the races that's good at stopping this is Night Elf, because Night Elf you can Shadow Meld, and you can Shadow Meld CC. So basically, like a mage is casting Polymorph on you, you're stuck in the middle of the map, you're out of range of your port, boom, Shadow Meld. You know, the poly doesn't exist anymore. And you're like, wait a minute, when you were talking about caster Mistweaver, you said to use Shadow Meld to drink. Now Fistweavers, on the other hand, they don't because Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, they're free. These don't cost mana. RSK costs mana. But Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, free. Jade Fire Stomp costs mana, but it also puts your buff for healing for like 12 seconds right there, as you can see. So you pop this, you're going to regen more than 100k mana over 12 seconds, and you can use Tiger Palm and Blackout Kick, which are your main rotational abilities, to heal for free, basically. So you're not going to have an issue with mana, so Night Elf is going to help you avoid CC. So anyways, second best race for a Fistweaver besides a Night Elf would be an Undead. And the reason why an Undead is a good choice of race for a Mistweaver, or a Fistweaver, sorry, is that you can Undead Fears. You know, it gives you an extra trinket. So, you know, like I said, you're susceptible to CC. If you're queuing into like a Warlock or something and he's spam fearing you, you can Undead out of that fear and you can have your trinket back in 30 seconds. So basically, just a little extra trinket to help you out. And then the next best race besides that is going to be a Gnome. Gnome gives you a Root Break and it also gives you 5% more mana. However, I did say that Fistweavers don't have an issue with ooming. You know, the 5% mana does help because Fistweavers can very rarely oom. So yeah, anyways, you get 5% more mana. You also get a Root Break. Escape Artist allows you to get out of roots. So let's say you're getting spam rooted by like a druid. You can diffuse the first root. You can Tiger's Lust the second root. You can Escape Artist the third root. You know what I mean? You can get out of 3 roots. You have 3 Root Breaks if you play Gnome. Now usually it's not an issue if you're rooted while you're a Fistweaver. You know, because you have Yulon to stop you from being rooted. That's a Root Break, 1 Root Break there. Then you have Tiger's Lust, 2nd Root Break, and a Diffuse Magic you can use on magical roots to break them and reflect them onto your enemies. So, yeah, pretty cool. But then if you have Gnome, you have a 4th one, which means you're never rooted the whole game. You can always move around. So, yeah. Anyways, so that is races, and now basically we're just going to move into the talent tree. Yay! So happy. Nice. All right. Whew. Damn, been going for 50 minutes. Ooh. So anyways, when you go through this talent tree, we have RSK, obviously, we have Para, and we have Soothing Mist. So yeah. Fast Feet, RSK does 70% more damage. You know, it's pretty important when we're using our melee abilities to heal. You know, you want to do more damage with this stuff. Ancient Arts, use it to just basically get paralysis back to 30 seconds, leg sweep to 50 seconds. You might think like, oh wow, this sounds so cool. You know, look at that, wow. My para is going to be 15 seconds now. Nope, they're just messing with you. It goes back to 30. You know, you don't get a quicker para. This is just something that they just want you to waste talent points on. Calling Present, reduces damage taken by 6%. This does healing taken increased by 4%. Tiger's Lust, this one's very important. You can use this to enable your teammates, and you can also use this to enable yourself. Since you're a Fistweaver, you're going to be needing to get in there and and hit something. So if you're struggling to hit something, you can Tiger's Lust yourself and give yourself removed of all roots and snares, 70% movement speed. You can use that to like run at a target that you absolutely need to hit. If you're stuck in like a Frost Nova, you can do that. You can also use it on your teammates to help them connect if they're struggling as well. You know, like you got a warrior in a route that's like 5 yards behind you. You just Tiger's Lust him. He's going to be very happy about that. Okay, so then we got this talent, Vivify, instant every 10 seconds, gives you a little instant cast healing. Let's say, you know, you have no expel harm, you're kiting away, you have nothing, you know, everything's on cooldown. It's worst case scenario, you at least have a little Piss Vivify to help you out. And then Chi Wave every 15 seconds, RSK, gives you a Chi energy thing that, yep, boom, does that. Nice, fun. Then you're going to want to spec into your kick, and since you're in melee range a lot, kick is pretty good, you know? You're going to be able to, let's say you're training a Warlock. He casts Fear, kick that shit. You won't get feared, you know? We have Celerity right here. You know, we play Roll instead of Chi Torpedo, because, you know, if you're chasing something, you need to have, like, more, like, smaller, minute movements, rather than a Chi Torpedo, which, like, takes you all the way across the map, you know what I mean? A small little roll is going to help you keep on your target a lot better than a Chi Torpedo would. Especially you also have three stacks of roll instead of 2 stacks of Chi Torpedo. So yeah, roll basically helps you stay on your target better. Energy transfer, if you kick something, you get CDR on paralysis, and you also get CDR on roll. So pretty good, right? Yeah. Then you're going to spec into Port. Port is one of the main abilities on Monk. You drop that down here, and you can go right to where that port is when you press your basically Transcendence's brother, which is transfer, and that basically takes you right to where your port is. You can use it a second time. That's another talent that I'll get to in a second. Ferocity of Swen, you know, we're Fistweaver, 2% more damage, pretty good. Ring of Peace, pretty obvious pick here. You're not really going to be getting any Song of Chi-Ji casts on when you're sitting there spamming Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, RSK on the target trying to kill him. You don't really have a time to just be like, hold on guys, I'm going to go cast a Song of Chi-Ji. You know what I mean? You're not getting that cast off. And if you do, it's going to be on like what you're training. It's not going to be good. And then Diffuse Magic. It's a great defensive. It's good against wizards because it reduces magic damage. This is 40% in the arena, 60% out of the arena. So, you know, if you're doing world PvP or whatever the fuck, yep, 60%. But in the arenas, this is 40%. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. You can use it to get out of like a mage's Frost Nova or magic roots. So, pretty cool. Now we have Jade Serpent statue. This is going to be important because it links to this talent. And I will talk about that in a second whenever I get to Calming Coalescence. So, Jade statue, you drop down a statue, you cast Soothing Mist, the statue casts Soothing Mist with you. You know, pretty simple, makes sense. Then the next talent you're going to pick is Fort Brew. This is one of your biggest personal defensives, which basically when you take these two talents, increases your maximum health by 40% and reduces your damage taken by 40% while it's active. So, very good. And then we have Dance of the Wind, and Dance of the Wind is really annoying, really annoying. People hate this talent when they queue into it, and basically just read it. Dodge chance stacks up to 9 times every 4 seconds, you know. And basically you can dodge like stuns with this. You can dodge like a kidney. Like let's say a rogue step kidneys you, you have a chance of dodging it. It's really cringe. People hate this. It's also a passive, so there's 0 outplay from you. It's just, hey, you have a chance to immune a stun, you know, with this, or immune an attack. So then we have Improved Touch Death. This basically just allows you to touch death players. Tiger's Hill Sweep, Leg Sweep ranged increase, and then Swift Dart, you get to remove a snare effect every 30 seconds with roll. So, you know, you're trying to roll to something, but you're also snared. Has a chance of just getting that snare off of you. So after you roll, you can just chase whatever you were chasing. Chief Efficiency gives you 4% more healing done. And then Flow of Chi gives you 5% movement speed above 90% health. So if you're topped and you're trying to chase somebody down to like touch death them or something, you know, you get more movement speed for that. You get damage taken reduced by 5% between 90 and 35% health, and below you get 10% more healing. So right here we have wind walking, which basically increases movement speed of your allies if you're close to them. And as a Fistweaver, you're going to be stacked onto your teammates a lot, which gives them more movement speed. So yeah, pretty cool. And then physical damage done by 4%. It's just a buff right here. And then we can spec into this talent called Clash. And let's say, something's running from you, you can just clash them. You can't use it on a dummy, unfortunately, because I can't drag the dummy all the way over here. That'd be crazy. Basically, you use it on a target, and if I used Clash right now, it would move the dummy and me right here where the statue is. And the dummy would get rooted. But I can't use it on the dummy, so yeah, it is what it is. But you can use this to get things closer to you. Let's say, you're fighting on melees right here, and the healer's casting a cast. You don't have an in-cap to stop it. You can just clash the healer, stop his cast or something like that. It's a pretty versatile ability. You can use it to move around, grab things closer to you, stuff like that. So escape from reality. The last talent on the left tree. Basically, you have port right there. You use your port, and then within 10 seconds, you can use it again. So, boom, use port again. That's how it works. All right, so now we're done with the left side of the tree. Whew. We're gonna move on to the right side of the tree. You guys have no idea how hard this is to fucking do. Oh my god. Ugh. Start with enveloping mist right here. And now, the buff that you get from enveloping mist, healing received from your other spells by 40%, very unfortunately does not apply to Fistweaver healing, because your Fistweaver healing is not a spell, it is a physical attack. So it is what it is, but this is still a good ability, and it's still going to be a part of your rotation because it is an extra little heal that you can pop up on your teammates. So boom, we're gonna pick up Renewing Mist, we're gonna pick up Thunder Focus Tea, and then oh jeez, I already went over this in the Mistweaver part, so I gotta go over it again. Thunder Focus Tea. Basically, you use this, your next two casts, they do what they say. Enveloping Mist does a initial heal, which it normally doesn't do. It normally is a hot that heals over 7 seconds, but this will give you an instant cast heal. So let's say you don't have your Fistweaver buff up, which you'll learn about in a second. You can pop this, and then you can use this for an instant heal without having to cast, because Fistweavers, they don't really cast ever. So yeah, you can pop that, and that'll give you a little initial heal as well as a hot for some healing, if you're like struggling to connect to something, etc. Now, the main reason that you're going to want to use Thunder Focus Tea as a Fistweaver is for Enveloping Mist and for Rising Sun Kick, and this is because using Rising Sun Kick with Thunder Focus Tea reduces the cooldown of Rising Sun Kick by 9 seconds. So Rising Sun Kick is a 11-second cooldown, so basically you can RSK and have it ready in 2 globals. So little demonstration time on the dummy, pop our Thunder Focus Tea, RSK, Blackout Kick, and we can hit RSK again. So yeah, it's good for doing a lot of damage. Also RSK does healing, so yeah. Whew, okay. Oh, my back. Then we have Mana Tea. So every time you spend mana, you have a chance to get Mana Tea. And Mana Tea, you can consume it. You get 63k mana for each stack, and you also get 8 buff based on how many stacks of Mana Tea you had. Now, each stack of Mana Tea that you have gives you 1 second of a buff. So let's see, you have 2 stacks of Mana Tea. That's going to give you 2 seconds long of Mana Tea, which your mana cost, which in that time period, your mana cost of your spells are reduced by 30%, which you can use to discount some of your expensive spenders like Chi. So Chi is 125k. With Mana Tea, I think it's like 87.5k, so you're saving mana there. Even though you don't you can if you're not careful, so yeah. Anyways, we got Restoral and we got Revival. Now, basically, as a Fistweaver, you play Restoral every single time, because you do a lot of overhealing as a Fistweaver. Your healing is just always in really good amounts. You're doing a lot of healing. So the only time you can die is when you're in CC, and the only time you can use, or not the only time you can use Restoral, but Restoral is usable well in stuns, not in fears, not in polys, not in incaps, unfortunately, but you can use it while you're stunned. And basically, Restoral has the same effects as Revival, except you can use it in a stun. So you're going to want to spec into Restoral every single time. Now, Energizing Brew, Mana G channels faster, just helps you keep up with the pace of the game, and it generates you 20% more mana, helps you not doom. You know, life cycles, don't even mention life cycles around me, I'll get mad. Crane Style, RSK, gives you a Gust of Mist, so it allows you to proc your Mastery, which is good. You know, you can play some Masteries of Fistweaver, it'll help out. Spinning Crane Kick and Blackout Kick also have a chance to give you Gusts of Mist. So Mastery for Fistweavers, it's not looking too bad when normally it was just verse haste. It was the stats for Fistweaver. Now it's changing a little bit because of this talent, which is a must take. So anyways, down to Calming Coalescence. Each time Soothing Mist heals, the absorb amount of your life cocoon is increased by 2%, stacking up to 50 times. And you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. I'm a Fistweaver. I don't cast Soothing Mist. And this is where Summon Jade Serpent statue comes in handy. So you can pop down a statue, and basically every time you cast Soothing Mist, you get a stack of this buff. And if you notice, if I stop casting it, I'm still getting stacks. And that's because your Jade Serpent statue gives you stacks of Calming Coalescence. So if you're pressing Soothing Mist to like get a little Enveloping Mist up, you know, which can give you extra healing, you can also get 7 or 8 stacks, I think, from your statue, which allows you to make your life cocoon increased by 100%. And you see right here, if I pop my life cocoon with Calming Coalescence, it is, that's supposed to be a 9.7 million shield, but I forgot to hit the dummy, so as you can see my health just duplicated right there. If I did that while I hit the dummy, that would have been a 9.7 mil shield, roughly. So yeah, massive shield. It's more than your health. You can see right here, 6.5 mil. If that's a 10 million shield, you know, it's really hard to kill through that. So that Jade Serpent statue is going to help you make your life cocoon a lot more powerful. And if I didn't talk about life cocoon, everybody knows what life cocoon does. It's your strongest single target defensive cooldown, which basically gives you a massive shield on whoever you're targeting, and also applies Renewing Mist and Enveloping Mist to the target. So yeah. Go down to Mist of Life, and you're going to get to Chrysalis, and Chrysalis will give you 45 seconds off of Life Cocoon, which is really, really good. You're also going to grab Overflowing Mists. You're going to grab 1 charge of this, and basically what Overflowing Mist does is your Enveloping Mists heal your target for 0.6% of their health each time they take damage. So, you know, let's say you're popping Thunder Focus Tea, you get that Enveloping Mist up, you get that initial heal from your Thunder Focus Tea, you get that hot from your Enveloping Mist, and then you also, when they take damage, you get healing from Overflowing Mists. So, you know, you do get quite a bit of healing from pressing Enveloping Mists, like with your Thunder Focus Tea, or if you don't have any Thunder Focus Tea charges, what you can do is you can cast a Soothing Mist, Enveloping Mist, and when you do that, you get healing from your Enveloping Mist, and you also get 8 stacks of your Calming Coalescence that you can stack up. You know, it's just Enveloping Mist, it's still important, even if you play Fistweaver. And that, you know, all those things that you can do to get healing, you know, that I just talked about. So yeah, you're going to want to press Enveloping Mist. And now we get to our Celestial. And now the Celestial for Fistweavers is Invoke Chi-Chi the Red Crane. And basically, what this does is this allows you not to be snared during the duration. So you can get out of roots using Chi-Chi. You can also just do a lot more healing with it. And it also makes your Enveloping Mists instant cast. Basically, you have to use 3 blackout kicks for it to happen. You can see I have strikes an additional 4 times. I'm also cleaving all of these things, so I'll pop it and I'll instantly be able to use an instant cast Enveloping Mist. And as you can see right there, with all the buffs that I talked about, that Enveloping Mist has, it's worth pressing for that healing during your Chi-Chi. So anyway, Celestial Harmony, we're just using this to get to Gift of the Celestials, which gives you cooldown reduction on your Celestial, making it every minute, which is really helpful because normally when they're every 3 minutes, you know, it's not that helpful, right? Then we're gonna take a trip all the way back up to, actually no, we're gonna go to why Fistweaver heals. Jade Fire Stomp, got this ability, pretty cool. You stomp and you get all of this on the ground, and it also pops and gives you this ability called Ancient Teachings. So as you can see, after casting Jade Fire Stomp, your Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, and Rising Sun Kick heal up to 500 allies within 40 yards for 170% of the damage done, split evenly among them. Lasts 15 seconds, so every time you push Jade Fire Stomp, you have this buff for 15 seconds. Jade Fire Stomp is a 15-second cooldown, so yeah, that's gonna be important. You know, you basically Jade Fire Stomp on cooldown just to refresh your buff. Now, Ancient Concordance. Blackout Kicks strike 3 targets, so as you can see, it allows you to cleave. Let's say I hit Blackout Kick on 1 target, it's going to hit all 3 of these targets, and that is going to allow you to do 170% of healing of all of this damage done. So that's like literally 1 million in healing done with 1 global. And then we have Awaken Jade Fire. Your abilities reset Jade Fire Stomp. So this allows you to reset your Jade Fire Stomp by pretty much attacking. It gives you a good chance to reset it, and this allows you to be more mobile. You can move around, you can drop a Jade Fire Stomp on them, because staying in this will also give you these buffs, which is Awaken Jade Fire and Ancient Concordance, which allows you to cleave with Blackout Kick. So if you're not staying in your Jade Fire Stomp, halfway through your Ancient Teachings buff, this is going to fall and you're not going to be able to cleave, you're not going to be able to do a lot of healing. So it's very important that you stay near your Jade Fire Stomp and you're in it just so that you get those 2 blue buffs that allow you to do a lot more healing. So yeah, that's the Fistweaver side of the tree. Jade Fire Stomp, 15-second cooldown, gives you a buff for 15 seconds, allows your melee attacks to heal for a percentage of the damage done. You also get a little 5% stand buff when you have Ancient Teachings up. Yeah, Blackout Kick cleaves. Abilities reset Jade Fire Stomp, Tiger Palm Strike twice, which allows you to get stacks of Thing of the Monastery. I don't see it in the talent tree. I think this is just like a passive that you get as Monk. See Tiger Palm, Teachings of the Monastery, Blackout Kick strikes an additional 4 times. Basically, after every time you Tiger Palm, you get 2 stacks of this buff, and it basically duplicates your Blackout Kicks. So every time you press Blackout Kick, you're going to want to make sure that you have 2 stacks of Teachings of the Monastery. Just trust me on that. If you press Blackout Kick without 2 stacks of Teachings of the Monastery, that's bad. Which is why your main rotation, your main healing rotation as a Fistweaver is going to be Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick. And this Tiger Palm Blackout Kick costs 0 mana, which is why Fistweavers don't really oom. You know, you pop your Jade Fire Stomp every 15 seconds, and then you Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick. This doesn't cost any mana, allows your mana to naturally regenerate, and gives you mana T stacks for pressing Jade Fire Stomp right there. So yeah, this is why Fistweavers don't oom. Doesn't cost them mana to do their main rotational healing abilities, which is Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick. Like I've said, like I've repeated. Now, Resplendent Mist, basically Gustum Mist, 30% chance to do 150% more healing, and now Gustum Mist can proc now with RSK, Spinning Crane Kick, and Blackout Kick. So yeah, if this heals for 150% more, you're doing more healing with your Crane style. So basically, Rapid Diffusion, every time you apply Enveloping Mist to an ally, it also applies Renewing Mist, and this is going to get into Chi Harmony, because Chi Harmony will allow your Renewing Mist to make you do 25% more healing to a new target. So let's say you're just chilling over here, and you pop your Thunder Focus Tea, you pop your Enveloping Mist right there, you get your 2 buffs, you get your 2 buffs right there, and then you use a Vivify, and that Vivify is going to heal for a lot. That was like a 1.4 million Vivify. So you can do all of that while being a Fistweaver and not casting a single spell, which is really cool. So yeah, anyways, then we go to Focused Thunder. Thunder Focus Tea empowers your next 2 spells, allows you to get that RSK CDR, and those instant cast Enveloping Mists, which are going to be good for healing. So anyways, we have Peaceful Mending, allies targeted by Soothing Mist, 40% more healing. This is also affected by your statue, you know. Boom, like we talked about, also gives you Calming Coalescence stacks. And then we get the last talent of the tree, which is Rising Mist. RSK extends the effects of Enveloping Mist. So, you know, let's say you pop this on your allies, you got this buff for 7 seconds, you go over, you hit the dummy, you Rising Sun kick the dummy, and your thing will increase its duration by 4 seconds, and this does twice. So as you can see right there, instead of a 7-second Enveloping Mist, it was a 15-second or something like that. Yeah, it's 4 plus 4, 8, 7 plus 8, 15. So yeah, cool. This just allows you to keep up your Enveloping Mists without having to refresh them by like casting Soothing Mist and Enveloping Mist. So yeah. And now, what we've been waiting for. Hero talents. So right here, Aspect of Harmony. And we're going to pick the right side of the tree here because it is the better side for Fistweaver. By far, it's not even close. Aspect of Harmony. Readability. Store Vitality from 10% of the damage dealt and 20% of your healing. Vitality stored from overhealing is reduced, blah blah blah. For 10 seconds after casting Thunder Focus Tea, your spells and abilities draw upon the stored Vitality to deal 25% additional healing over 8 seconds. So basically, when you press Thunder Focus Tea, or hold on, let me just restart that. When you do damage, you store Vitality. And when you press Thunder Focus Tea, for 10 seconds, your abilities do more healing based on your Vitality. So here's just a passive that we have to pick up. Chi Burst and Chi Wave deal 50% increased damage and healing. That's why respect into Chi Wave. It pops every 15 seconds when we do RSK. It gets a 50% buff. You know, it's damage. It's damage. It's extra damage, right? It also helps contribute to your Vitality because 10% of your damage, 10% of all that, you know, more damage. That's all that matters. During Aspect of Harmony, RSK, Black Oak Kick, and Tiger Palm also withdraw Vitality to damage enemies. So yeah, your Vitality can be used to do damage to people. And now there was a bug with this where you could one-shot people by abusing this, and that got patched. So unfortunately, no more Fistweavers one-shotting, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Then we got this one, Balanced Stratagem, casting a physical spell or ability, increase the damage and healing of your next fire and Nazier, blah blah blah. So yeah, basically doing melees increases the healing of your next Enveloping Mist, and using Enveloping Mist increases the next physical damage. So yeah, that's gonna help. And that Thunder Focus Tea having one more additional charge, this allows you to basically draw upon your Vitality to be able to use it. It also allows you to use your Enveloping Mists more to get stacks of Balanced Stratagem, which you see right here. Healing and damage to your next physical spell or ability is increased by 15%, so that is going to do more damage because of that buff. And then my next Enveloping Mist is going to start stacking up right here with Balanced Stratagem. You see the red one right there? Oh, I just used the heal, so it changed. But yeah, I pop this right here. Boom, 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 and boom. And now this Enveloping Mist is going to heal for a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much how that works. Thunder Focus Tea having one more additional charge, talked about it. You can draw from your Vitality more often. Then we got this choice node right here. Casting Tiger's Lust reduces cooldown on roll by 5 seconds. Pretty cool. This one's pretty bad because this one actually wouldn't be bad if it instead of granting movement speed, it removes snares. But you know, Blizzard devs, they're crazy, so they don't know what they're doing. So casting Tiger's Lust gives you a CDR and roll. So you know, if you're close to a roll, you know, you can pop Tiger's Lust, gives you CDR and roll. Pretty simple. And now Overwhelming Force, RSK, Black Oak Kick, and Tiger's Palm do 15% additional damage to enemies in a line in front of you. So that's just kind of weird. I guess like this, boom, you can do more damage because they're in a line. You just kind of have to pick this one. It's a passive. Don't worry about it too much. Casting Vivify gives you Vitality. So basically you can do this to store more Vitality that you can then draw upon with your Thunder Focus Tea. So yeah, pressing Vivify every 10 seconds to do healing, which can also be buffed by your Enveloping Mist, gives you a big Vivify and gives you more vitality to draw upon whenever you pop your Thunder Focus Tea, if that makes sense. So yeah, and then the last one, Coalescence. An Aspect of Harmony deals damage or heals. It has a chance to spread to a nearby target when you directly attack. Blah blah blah. Targets damaged or healed by your Aspect of Harmony take 10% increased damage or healing from you. So it's basically just a healing increase in short terms. Now to go on to the PvP talents. So I'm spec'd into my Caster Mistweaver PvP talents. So I'm just going to change them to Fistweaver ones. So right, oops. Okay, right here. So we have Jadefire, Accord, and Alpha Tiger. So Alpha Tiger, basically, you Tiger Palm a target, and you get 20% more haste for a few seconds. So this is going to allow you to get your globals out faster, do more healing. It's a healing increase. And you can see you can't get Alpha Tiger for another 30 seconds after you get it. But this allows you to just target a new thing, press Tiger Palm, get 20% more haste. So if you're smart, you're going to be tabbing through targets that don't have Alpha Tiger. Like let's say there's like pets around you, you can Tiger Palm them just to get Alpha Tiger so you have more haste. And yeah, that's very good. You can absolutely abuse the fuck out of Alpha Tiger. Good talent. Definitely a must play for a Fistweaver. And then Jadefire Accord basically gives you Jadefire Stomp every 5 seconds. This allows you to just move around quick, you know. Boom, boom, boom. It also slows, so if you're like trying to chase a mage, you can pop a Jadefire Stomp on him. It'll cast a little slow on him. Yeah. That is going to be it for talents for Fistweaver. Oh my god. Now, we're gonna go through the last thing for a Fistweaver. Oh, this is a long video. Which is stats. So as a Fistweaver, because of the new talent, Crane Style, you're going to be wanting to run some Mastery so that your Gust of Mist can proc for healing. And Mastery allows you to do a lot of healing as a Fistweaver. You know, you can really crank with the new Crane thing. So you know, obviously you're gonna want a lot of haste. More haste, the better. But I'd say you'd want to prio like maybe like 15% haste, then the rest Mastery and full verse. Stack as much verse as you can versus the top prio for stat on Fistweaver. You want as much verse as you can, and then you're going to want you're gonna want haste to like 15%, and then you're gonna want Mastery to whatever. So then we're going to move on to Enchants. So you can see right here on Fistweaver, our Enchants are going to be different than to Caster Mistweaver. And we got the first one. We got our Weapon Enchant. So we have Item Enchants, Weapon, and the Weapon Enchant that we're going to want to pick is going to be this one. So dealing damage has a chance to call upon that authority, smiting your target for 130,000 damage and increasing your primary stat by 2,230. Since Fistweavers do damage to heal, this is going to be great. It's going to allow you to get some extra damage in to really help out your teammates, and it also gives you primary stat, which just, you know, helps you do more healing. So yeah, that's going to be your Weapon Enchant. You're going to want Authority of Radiant Power. So that for Ring Enchants, what you can do is you can go for Cursed Haste. Or wait, oh no, not Cursed Haste. What am I saying? Sorry guys. I was thinking about Cursed Mastery for Caster Mistweaver. But yeah, forget what I said. Not Cursed Haste. You're gonna want to run Radiant Haste right here. And this is just going to give you more haste so you can get your abilities off faster. Pretty self-explanatory. Boots enchant, you're going to want a speed enchant on your boots. And on your legs, you're going to want to get Daybreak Spell Thread. That's going to increase your mana by 5% just to ensure that you don't Going to give you a little bit of intellect, so your Enveloping Mist Seal. You know, stuff like that. No belt enchant, no gloves enchant. Moving on to the wrists, you get a speed enchant on your wrists. On your chest plate, you're going to want to get in by 520 and mana pool by 5%. It's going to make sure you don't And then on the cloak, you're going to get a speed enchant on your cloak. It's called enchant of Burrowing Rapidity, and then shoulders, neck, and helmet don't have enchants. But there is no more tiered medallion settings, and this is because you can now sockets are just you know, you apply them to everything. There's no more 3 sockets on a neck, but there is Vicious Jeweler's setting, and basically you can apply 2 sockets to a neck, 2 sockets to a ring, 2 sockets to a ring, and then 1 socket to a belt, 1 socket to a bracer, and 1 socket to a helmet. So yeah, no more 3 sockets on a necklace. And how you get these Vicious Jeweler's settings is you farm out honor. So now Vicious Bloodstones, you need 2 of these and 9,750 honor to buy 1 socket. Now Vicious Bloodstones, 2,500 honor each, and you can buy them on the auction house if you don't want to grind out the honor. So let's say you buy 2 of those. Unfortunately, you're gonna have to farm out 9,750 honor to get 1 socket. So you know, you do the math: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 9,750. That's gonna be like 87,000 honor. A lot of honor. It's not gonna be fun. But that's what you need to do to get full sockets and get extra stats, which you can put gems in. So yeah. And if you're wondering how I have one of these before the season starts, there is a chest that spawns every 6 hours. Which gives a 100% chance to get a Vicious Jeweler's setting. I'm pretty sure you can also just buy these, but oh wait, no, you can only purchase during the active PvP seasons. You can't actually buy them yet. But yeah, store up your honor so you can buy these on the first day of the season, so you can have a little bit of an advantage over other people. There is a chest that spawns every 6 hours. This is not going to be part of the video. You guys are going to have to research that on your own, and it gives a 100% chance every week. A weekly to give you one of these sockets, and it's a war mode only chest. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching. This has been extremely exhausting for me. I will say I'm sorry about you guys for the Fistweaver guide. It was not my best work because I had already been 50 minutes into the caster Mistweaver guide. You know, just getting a little fried. I'm sorry. Any questions down in the comments, I will answer. Anything like that, you know, will be answered. You can also go to my Twitch stream. I'm live almost every day. Definitely going to be live for like every day for the first like month of the new season. Going to be enjoying the new content, the games, all of that. So anyways, yep, subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed. And yeah, comments and questions in the comments, appreciated. We'll answer every single one of them. And that's going to be it. Thanks for watching through this guide. If you did, I really appreciate you. The support means a lot. And yeah, all my links are going to be in the description. All the talent copy codes for Mistweaver and Fistweaver are also going to be in the description, so you guys can get them. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and peace.